The SAS is the Special Forces regiment upon which all others are based. Few are tough enough to pass selection. But what does it take to survive once you make it into the Special Air Service? Using a series of dramatic scenarios, a team of hardened ex-SAS veterans have agreed to reveal the survival secrets that kept them alive. The commander of our four-man patrol is former SAS Sergeant Eddie Stone. With him is demolitions expert John McAleese, the first man on the balcony in the Iranian embassy siege. Additional firepower and expertise is provided by Johnny and Pete. We've had to protect their identities. Together, they'll show you how members of the world's most elite regiment fight and survive, and reveal just what it takes to wear this badge. In this episode of SAS Survival Secrets, it's a new fictitious mission. Eddie Stone and his SAS team have been tasked with bodyguarding a British minister on a foreign state visit. We'll take you through the essential kit, training and planning that's needed for high-level VIP close protection. We reveal the survival secrets of defensive driving and the technology and weapons used when driving in convoy. We show you how elite forces deploy escape and evasion techniques to protect a VIP when confronted with an attack.
Attack front!
Back at our team's base, it's a brand new imaginary mission.
Okay, lads,
A Chinese parliament or meeting is convened by Team Commander Eddie Stone to outline their bodyguarding detail.
We've got a busy job coming up with our favourite woman, Miss Long. We've got 3 weeks lead up. Matt, you and I will go down in 2 days' time. We've got a meeting with her down in London.
Suits, ties?
Yeah, we'll obviously get dressed up there. We'll meet in our offices down there and we'll see how she's going to perform, yeah. Johnny, you start getting the kit ready, preparing weapons, any gear that you think we may require.
Okay. 253s, 2 battery cards and a cuts.
On this type of defensive bodyguarding operation, firepower can only be used as a last resort. In our story, it is necessary for each member of the team to carry their weapons out of sight, but close at hand.
I personally like my team to have a long-range weapon, a medium-range weapon and a short-range weapon, so that they are able to take on any would-be assassin over these various distances.
An individual's choice of weapon and kit is dependent on his role in the operation.
Pete, if you can start getting the medical kit ready, obviously get the VIP trauma pack, all that gear sorted out.
Can you find out blood group, medication she's on, and any allergies?
Yeah, okay, mate, I've asked for a full dossier on her anyway, okay, to find out as much as we can.
On the battlefield, the size of Pete's medical kit was dictated by one overriding factor: weight. How much he could carry in addition to his own fighting kit. On this mission, weight is not an issue. Each vehicle will carry the latest medical equipment, and most emergencies can be catered for. If the car is involved in an accident or deliberately rammed by terrorists, the VIP might suffer head, spine, or pelvic injuries, all needing stabilization before being removed on a spine board. Should the VIP collapse or suffer a heart attack, a resuscitation kit is on board. Pete, as a bodyguard and medic, will be only seconds away from the incident. Should a president of the United States ever be taken ill, hidden in the cavalcade are not just medics, but a custom-built high-speed ambulance. The first lesson to be learnt in bodyguarding? It's hard graft, not glamour, that counts. John McAleese has years of experience protecting VIPs.
You're up at least an hour before the VIP, because you've got to be fed, watered, washed, shaved, dressed before he even gets out of bed. that you're ready to go. You're with him or her throughout the whole day, and they might go on partying whatever time in the morning. You can't go to bed until they go to bed. And prior to going to bed, you've got to get your kit ready for the next day, because you haven't got time the following morning. So it's a long, hard day.
We've got her for 5 days. She's going to spend the weekend with the President of the country at his country retreat.
The most important phase of any operation, particularly bodyguarding, is meticulous planning and preparation.
Security team.
When you're out clubbing or you're watching the movies, TV, you may see film stars running around with 6-foot bodyguards. What I'm going to do is show you what a real bodyguard carries and how he operates. Let's start from the top. Glasses, a good pair of glasses. This isn't to look cool, this is when you're in a crowd, the crowd can't see where your eyes are. As I'm the personal protection officer for the VIP, I am lightly armed. On me, I'll carry a 9mm Sig Sauer pistol with a 20-round magazine. I'll have 2 spare magazines on the side, 20 rounds in each magazine. I carry a baton. I use this if the VIP's shaking hands with anyone and they try to grab her into the crowd, I can pull this, whack him in the wrist, and they will let go very rapidly. Let's look at John Mack. He's more heavily armed. John has an MP5 Kurtz. This weapon fires 800 rounds per minute. He's one of the best submachine pistols in the world. You'll also see on his left-hand side, he has a 9mm Sig Sauer semi-automatic pistol with 2 spare magazines on his right-hand side. On his back, he's a coded radio. Running up his back from the radio is his earpiece. In his left hand, which will be running down his sleeve through his watch, is the pressure switch for the radio. If he requires to get in touch with me or any of the other bodyguards, he can do so quite simply.
1, 2, 3.
Morning, gentlemen.
Eddie and Mac have arranged a meeting with the Minister. Understanding the wishes of the protected person is essential, even if you don't like their demands.
I don't want too much bodyguarding. I want to get out there and meet the people. I want to see how the British government's money is being spent. Anything else you want to discuss?
Wearing body armour, Minister, I suggest...
There is no question that I'm going to wear body armour. I refuse to do it.
Well, I would strongly advise you to wear body armour until such times as we can establish how real the threat is over there.
I'll repeat that I'm not going to. You're not going to restrict me in any way.
An uncooperative VIP is the team's worst nightmare. But it's not the first time Eddie and John McAleese have had to work with people who have different priorities.
It's not easy. It can be made easier with the old planning and preparation, you know, prior to going on the job, and getting the, how can I say, the assistance of the VIP. Because some of them will listen to advice and do what you tell them to a certain degree. Others are just totally, you know, bullshit about it. You say, I'd like you to sit in a certain place in the car for a certain reason, and they'll sit somewhere else. You say to them, please don't do this, please don't do that, and they will just do it out of badness. You know, it can be difficult. If you can get a good sort of working relationship with the VIP, it makes the job a hell of a lot easier.
In addition to the equipment we carry on our body, we also carry various items of equipment in the vehicles. We'll carry an HK-33 5.56 weapon, which gives you greater firepower in the event of a terrorist attack. This has 2 25-round magazines attached to it. It also has a laser red dot sight for greater accuracy. We'll carry a night sight in case the VIP has any night visits. We carry a couple of torches, one large one, one small one. Small one, obviously, if you're looking for stuff in the car at night, very, very handy. A respirator. Each member of the close protection team will have one of these. So will the VIP. This is in case the terrorists intend to use CS gas during an ambush. This equipment is stored in the ops waistcoat and kept handy in the back of the vehicle. We have body armour, 2 types. Lightweight body armour This is the one the VIPs prefer. It will only stop a 9mm bullet and a knife attack. We carry a heavier body armour. This is a ceramic plate insert. This will stop a 7.62 bullet. Pretty heavy. The VIPs don't like wearing them. Carry the famous old blankets. This gets thrown over the top of the kit so that if you stop at traffic lights or something, people don't get alarmed when you see all this gear lying in the back of the vehicle. Final thing, an umbrella, a brolly. Very, very important piece of kit. Never go anywhere without one of these. Why? In case it rains.
Okay, basically, we just were down in London yesterday and met up with Ms. Long, and we had a, to say, put it mildly, a very interesting meeting. She's very anti us, basically doesn't want us to be there.
She's a pain in the bum, that's it.
Yeah. She's 52 years old. Blood group B positive,
Yeah.
no allergies. Okay, she's married, 3 kids. She started off, as Johnny was saying there, at Greenham Common. She was a member of the CND, became quite prominent in that. She's not afraid to speak her mind.
At Greenham Common, women protesters picked this moment to try to break through the main gate.
She's going to Mostovia to assess the continuing British aid to that government, yeah? It's quite an unstable government, so she's going over there to have a look at them. They do have a dodgy human rights record with an ethnic minority. Basically, as far as we're aware, she hasn't been threatened. We've got the spook coming up to give us a brief in about 4 hours' time.
Unlike regular soldiers, the SAS are trained to handle most types of firearm. Yet prior to joining the SAS, the vast majority of the soldiers won't have fired more than a couple of rounds from a pistol in their careers.
The magazine of 10 rounds, load. Up!
So long hours are spent on firing ranges perfecting drills. Before our imaginary mission, the team go back to the basics.
Advance! Up! When the would-be assassin strikes, you must be able to draw your weapon quickly, get it up into the aim. But you must pause before firing off that shot. If you don't, you're liable to start shooting innocent bystanders, which is unacceptable. Turn to your right. Up! Up! Another thing you have to take into account when you draw that weapon and look at the target is how far is he away from you? Is he 10 metres, 15 metres, 20 metres? Because that makes a difference as to where you aim your weapon. As soon as that bullet leaves the barrel of the weapon, it starts losing power, kinetic energy. So therefore, the further the target is away, the more the bullet will drop. And the further he is away, the higher you have to aim. Up!
Good morning, gentlemen. I've been asked to come along to give you a sit-rep on Mostovia.
The team, prior to any operation, are given a situation report, or sit-rep. It covers details such as the stability of the country to be visited, background on the people involved, and a threat assessment by an intelligence officer on the person they're going to protect.
Is there something likely to happen? Is there something not likely to happen? Because that may alter the way we plan to do this task.
Our overall intelligence assessment supports the view that they are a medium risk. There is a Mostovan Liberation Army, the MLA. The command and control within their forces, if we can call them that, is pretty rudimentary.
Based on this threat assessment, there are 3 classic BG or bodyguarding methods the team can put into practice. Military overt, where the firepower is very obvious. Low-key overt, where the guns are hidden, but it's clear the VIP is still being protected. Covert, where the VIP has no idea they are being protected.
I would use military overt when you're in a war zone. You have to protect someone. You want your guys out there fully armed and very visible to any would-be assassin. Low-key overt. I would use that when you've got to protect a minister, member of parliament. They want to remain in the public eye, but you need protection. You're there to offer that protection in a low-key overt method. The final one is covert. This is good from a bodyguarding point of view because it allows you to react instantaneously to any threat posed to the VIP by anyone in the crowd in your area.
Back in 1994, on a visit by Prince Charles down under, the Royal Protection Team decided to use the low-key overt approach. Their skills were put to the test twice within a matter of days. In New Zealand, a joker lunged forward with an air freshener, causing a security alert. But in Australia, it could have been fatal for the Prince.
It was as the Prince was invited to hand out some awards that the shots rang out.
Within seconds, a classic defence plan is deployed by the protection team. Team 1 immobilises the attacker, while Team 2 shields the Prince.
Let's analyse this incident. From the bodyguard's point of view, he wants to be next to the Prince when he's giving his speech. The Prince doesn't want him there, so he's in the background. But this is the dilemma for the bodyguard. He's got to do what his principal wants him to do. If he wants him to remain in the background, then he must remain in the background. In this case, the close protection officer was in the correct position. He's by his shoulder, very, very close to him. When the guy started to spray the aerosol, he's able to react immediately to any threat to the Prince. He covers the Prince, and the rest of the close protection team take the guy down, and he's taken away. For this operation, I've decided to use a low-key overt method. It allows me to give good protection to the minister, but it allows her to be visible to the public, which is paramount to her. At any stage during our walkabouts or our venues, we can quickly change from low-key overt to overt with weapons drawn.
The SAS are trained to deal with all forms of attack, including knives. Don't try this. Eddie and Mac's reactions are second to none, and they've spent years perfecting their skills.
What I'm doing immediately is grabbing his wrist to prevent that knife from moving anywhere. Stepping inside, put my elbow under his throat and my left knee into the back of his right knee, breaking the joint, pushing down, keeping control of the weapon at all time, holding it, twisting the arm, bending the wrist back, taking the knife off. Mac's going to swing at me with a knife. I'm going to control it by the wrist, step inside once again. Same procedure as the last, down, keeping control, twisting the arm, bending the wrist. What happened there is Mac's in the attack overarm. I'm blocking it. I'm bending down. At the same time, I'm clenching my fist. I'm going to drive my fist into Mac's crutch using the power of my thighs to drive it up, down, keeping control of the knife, breaking it off.
Before the minister, Miss Long, arrives, Eddie and the team must look at, or recce as the team call it, the route of the ministerial convoy. Moving a VIP from place to place is a dangerous time for any BG team. To the untrained eye, this road looks pretty safe, but to the professional, danger is literally around every corner.
Okay, coming across little old stone bridge, across a river, largest roundabout coming up. We're going to take the right-hand exit off of that. We need to make sure we've got the cars to block that roundabout when we get on convoy.
With roundabouts, potential threat lies in the vehicle being blocked in front, or it could be rammed by a vehicle coming from the left.
Flyover there, mate, no bridge.
Okay, got a bridge coming up.
to make sure there's nothing on that, or nobody on that.
Bridges provide an ideal platform to launch an attack on the convoy as it passes underneath.
Okay, high hedges, very wooded. Once again, threat areas. Easy to put an ambush in here.
The danger with woodland is the provision of cover for a range of ambushes. For John McAleese, this situation is terrifyingly real. While serving in Northern Ireland, he faced this exact scenario.
To some job one day, and the mode of transport was all sort of army, 4-tonner type thing, and we're going along, and next minute, kaboom, big loud noise, lights, blah blah blah, and next thing we're in the big hole. There was myself and the driver against the windscreen, clambered out. The guys that were in the back of the 4-tonner, I mean, they were thrown all over the place as well. Everybody scrambled out, and you're sort of taking up defensive positions actually within the edge of the crater. You're frightened, you know what happened. And, you know, I mean, laugh about it now, you know, because they missed us, you know.
Eddie and Mac are now recceing potential urban ambush points.
Possible danger area, vehicles parked in there, pretending they're getting fuel, etc., when they're waiting for us to pop along.
It's the most everyday of scenes that can provide perfect urban camouflage.
Okay, we're going to take a right at this next junction, major choke point, danger area. These are going to be manned by the local police to ensure us free access through.
With any choke point, the convoy is in danger of becoming an easy target from both above and at street level. Before any operation, the SAS parade or check the vehicles they're about to use.
Indicators, John.
Yes. Okay. That's working.
Our team add one or two of their own little touches, but they come with a health warning. Don't copy them.
Airbags. All modern vehicles are fitted with airbags in the front. These must be disarmed. As you're driving along the road, a vehicle pulls out to try and block you. You may be able to ram the vehicle out the road. But if you've got your airbags fitted, whoomph, airbag all over your face, you're blinded. You end up having a crash. Emergency fuel cut-off systems. Most modern vehicles, once again, are fitted with these, so that in the event of an accident, a crash, a bang, the fuel is automatically cut off to the engine. Once again, no good. These must be disconnected, because when you do ram the vehicle off the road, you need the fuel, continue to run through the engine, so that you can get out of the way and take the VIP to safety. You check your wing mirrors and your rear view mirror, and what you're trying to achieve is all-round vision down either side of the vehicles and to the rear of the vehicle. So with your right-hand wing mirror, tilt that slightly upwards. Your left-hand wing mirror, tilt it slightly downwards. What you're trying to achieve is all-round defence. If you don't have access to a bulletproof vehicle, then you can increase the security to the VIP by putting in some body armour onto the front two seats. Very simple to do. Slip the body armour over the seats, ceramic plates, front and rear. Any shots coming through into the vehicle, obviously it's not going to help the person sitting in the front, but it will protect the VIP who's in the rear. And that is the aim of the game at the end of the day.
If you've got a good team, a good bunch of lads, and you all get on well together, the stress factor is very low.
But the tension is about to rise with the arrival of the Minister, Ms. Long. Like all SAS operations, detailed plans have been prepared. Eddie sets the team into a classic bodyguarding formation. Initially, the BGs set a box shape. But as Eddie moves forward, the point man changes position, giving each man clearer arcs of fire.
Mastovia. No, I've got to keep my hands free, madam. Follow me, please.
Professional bodyguards are not bag carriers. They have to keep their hands free at all times, just in case they need to draw their weapons.
Did you have a good flight?
Excellent, thank you.
For the next 5 days, the team will work in shifts round the clock, always preparing for, yet hoping against, an attack on the minister. Phase 2 of the mission is now underway. The transportation of Minister Long during her visit to Mastovia. We'll be looking at how Eddie and his team provide close protection in vehicle convoy. VIPs are at their most vulnerable to terrorists and hostage takers when on the road. The team are now in a heightened state of vigilance and ready with well-rehearsed action scenarios to put down any potential threat. But it's not just routes that cause concerns. Any venue the VIP is scheduled to visit becomes a potential target. All have to be thoroughly recceed and checked out beforehand.
Time 14:50. Entrance to the venue for the press conference. Quick scan around. Heavily wooded area.
Eddie and Mac are making a videotape and notes which are crucial to the overall planning of the operation.
Car park area. Full of cars at the moment. Get this cleared prior to the time for the venue. Make sure there's nobody else here. Okay, where that blue car's parked at the moment is exactly where the VIP is going to park. Entrance to the venue directly behind it. Quick scan around. Once again, pretty open, heavily wooded area. Make sure perimeter security's got that tied up before we bring her in. Okay, principal arrives, out the car, lead the principal through this way.
No detail, however simple, can be overlooked.
Entrance into the venue.
But they don't just plan for safe arrivals. Emergency exits have to be considered, just in case there's an attack.
Okay, we've got a doorway leading down there. Looks as though it goes to the bar. Beer barrels plus the chutes. Possible escape route. Okay, we're now on red. This is another alternate escape route.
Each side of the building is designated a colour, so the team know which route to use on their way to the emergency pickup point. The colour codes used by our team are white for front, green for left, black for back, and red for right.
Bodyguarding is not glamorous. It's a very boring, mundane job, but you've got to keep your mind constantly alert. When you're out and about with your principal, it's quite easy because your mind is going all the time. You're looking for potential threats, so your mind is active all the time. The hard part comes when you take the principal back to the residence, you put them safely into the room for the night, and you've got to sit there for the rest of the night watching them. This is when it becomes difficult. You've got to keep your mind alert. I do this by playing little mind games with myself. I think of some poetry. I do mental arithmetic. Any little thing to keep your mind active. If you don't do that, then you will start feeling dozy and sleepy. And when the guy walks out that lift, or he comes up the fire escape to threaten the minister, then you're going to be slow reacting. And you can't allow that to happen.
Our SAS close protection team's first priority during Minister Long's visit is to safeguard her while she travels to and from the British Embassy in Mastovia. The minister is staying at this country location under guard by the close protection team. Local police have secured the grounds and the surrounding area. The vehicles essential to the BG team also have to be secured and watched to prevent any tampering. Technology can help to provide a 24-hour visual on a vehicle via a laptop system. A series of small cameras fitted in a ring system around the car allows Eddie to keep an overnight eyeball on the principal's car whilst the minister is safely in bed. The minister is about to leave her country retreat and travel to the British Embassy. But a simple walk to a waiting vehicle can easily turn into something dangerous. The attempted assassination of Ronald Reagan demonstrates how moving from buildings to cars provides the ideal opportunity for an attacker to strike.
The assassin is stood right next to the camera crew who are filming this. The Secret Service agent walks up, he looks at this guy, doesn't see any threat from him, so he immediately ignores him and starts turning and facing inwards towards where Ronald Reagan is going to enter his vehicle. 99% of the Secret Service agents and the police are all looking inwards. If you're looking inwards and someone starts firing a weapon, it takes you quite a long time to actually start identifying where that shot came from. Move on a little bit further. The guy has now fired 6 rounds before people are starting to react, and the first person on him is a civilian.
The potential for an attack is why our SAS team adopt a well-rehearsed procedure called embussing. The minister will travel to the British Embassy in a 3-car convoy. First, the team ensure the immediate location is secure. Mac and Johnny are on either side of the building, with Pete out front or on point. Eddie Stone, the BG or bodyguard commander, will at all times stay close to the principal, the minister.
As I escort the VIP out, the close protection team will start moving formation, constantly maintaining a 360-degree arc around the minister at all times. This is imperative. If anything happens, they can react to it because their observation is out. They're looking where any potential threat may be. You take the VIP up to the car, load her into the vehicle, load up and drive off as quickly as possible.
This would be a classic embussing procedure, but on this occasion, things don't go exactly to plan. Unknown to the team, one of the Mostovian police officers accidentally fires his weapon. Whenever there's a possible contact, the team's standard operating procedures are put into action. So what are they? First, Eddie gets the principal out of any line of fire, using whatever it takes. The next step is to get the minister away from the threat, fast. Eddie will then travel to the ERV and wait for the rest of the team. Mac draws his weapon and protects Eddie and the minister, helping them get into the vehicle quickly. He then defends the rear of the convoy, ready to engage any potential attacker, whilst moving quickly to his own vehicle. Pete gets ready to defend the area to the front of the minister, scanning left and right for any potential threat. He follows this procedure right until he gets into the vehicle. Johnny takes up a defensive position near the point car in the convoy. He ensures that the bug-out or escape route is clear for the principal vehicle. Once the BG commander and minister are clear of the area, he quickly gets into the car. Both backup vehicles then travel to the ERV to rejoin the principal. The team are informed that this was a false alarm.
Okay, come down and pick us up.
Take your hands off me. Get off.
The BG commander's role is to take whatever action necessary to keep the principal safe, whether they like it or not.
Charlie 1, Charlie 3, this is Charlie 2, move to first venue, over.
Roger. Charlie 3, Roger, back in.
What on earth was going on there, Stone?
There was a weapon discharged. It's my job to look after you, therefore I put you into the vehicle and protected you until I found out what the problem was.
But you overreacted. It's a situation I really didn't want to happen.
Minister, I didn't overreact.
You certainly did.
If that was a threat to you and I didn't react, you wouldn't be here now. After a false alarm takes place, the VIP can be quite upset about that because she feels there's no threat to her. But you're not there to be nice to her, all friendly with her. You're there to protect her. That is your main role. So you have got to react exactly the same as you would if it was a real incident.
Whilst on the move, the team will travel in a 3-vehicle convoy. The principal car will have Eddie, a driver, the minister and her aide. Its call sign is Charlie 2.
Charlie 1, Charlie 2, just stick at 50, over.
Mac and Pete are in the Defender. Call sign Charlie 3.
That's Charlie 3, clear of the bridge.
Johnny and the driver ride in the Range Rover. Its call sign is Charlie 1.
Charlie 1, from Red 1 towards Red 2, over.
Comms are an essential aspect of protecting a VIP in cars. It's vital that the team are constantly in contact, conveying information about the route, obstacles and any potential hazards or dangers that may appear.
Charlie 1, Charlie 3, there should be a bridge coming up shortly, just be aware.
Roger that, listening out.
That's the bridge now.
Sign out. That's Charlie 3, clear of the bridge. The call signs 1 and 2, be aware, silver car coming up behind us first.
When you get the VIP into the vehicle and you're setting off, what's going through my mind at this time? First of all, I'm looking at the speed of the convoy. Are we going too fast? We don't want to arrive there early. I'm also looking at the spacing of the vehicles. Are we too close together or are we too far apart? We don't want to be too far apart in case a vehicle pulls alongside us and pulls in and ends up splitting the convoy. If we're too close together, then it allows us no room for manoeuvrability. I'm looking for areas of threat as I'm driving along, actively thinking of what I'm going to do if a situation occurs.
Stand by, vehicle slowed ahead, over.
Charlie 1.
Charlie 3, just be aware, this is quite a narrow little village street here. Just keep alert. Charlie 1 out.
The team travel a pre-planned route. Points on that route have been designated using a simple code.
Red 1-3 on the yellow to Red 1-2, over.
Charlie 2, roger.
Charlie 3, clear of 1-3.
The coding of the route acts as a counter-surveillance measure. This prevents any potential attackers or terrorists who may be scanning the airwaves from gathering information about the convoy location.
From Red 1 towards Red 1-5, over.
Charlie 2, roger.
3, roger.
First chance you get, Charlie 1, burn him off.
Roger, moving.
Clear.
The coding is only known to the close protection team and the command post or HQ.
Red 6 on the yellow towards the Red 7, over.
Yeah, roger.
3 backing.
Clear.
3 clear, backing.
Communication amongst the team allows the 2 backup vehicles to provide a mobile security shield around the principal car. The team train and have a plan of action for every eventuality. The SAS call this actions on. What if a lone attacker strikes? What if someone tries to ram the convoy? What if the convoy is ambushed? This is one way our SAS team might react if they were ambushed. It hasn't happened yet on this mission, but if it did, they must be ready. To provide an effective actions-on plan, a close protection team must have the ability to think like an attacker. If the bad guys are to strike at a convoy, then they will invariably try to determine a place and a time when the target will be most vulnerable. The majority of attacks will occur at choke points where the cavalcade is forced to stop or slow down. Elite close protection teams will try and avoid these areas or ensure that the route is totally secure in advance of the convoy passing through. But there are other situations that the team must be alert to. Close cover on a blind bend could provide ideal camouflage for a gunman. Roadworks are seen every day on our streets, but what may seem like a regular worker could be a cover for attackers preparing to strike. BG teams must be aware of any form of camouflage, whether it be urban or rural. A jogger on a small country lane may be in training for something deadly. In situations where the principal is in any way vulnerable, then everyone must be perceived as hostile. In all high-level close protection scenarios, the VIP and close protection team may choose to travel in an armoured car. The armour-plated limousine of Sri Lankan President Kumaratunga saved her life. Just as the president paused to talk to a reporter, a female suicide bomber detonated a lethal explosion. Fortunately, her car shielded her from the full force of the blast. But remember, most cars provide little or no defense against an armed attack. A bullet will cut through the body of a car like a knife through butter.
This is an armoured Range Rover, which has had over 160 rounds of various calibres of ammunition fired at it.
Armouring a car involves providing a protective shield resistant to bullets all around the vehicle. The bodywork is reinforced with numerous layers of steel.
The weak point of any car is the joints. These are double-lined to prevent bullet splash, which enters through one side, but the inner layer of armour prevents the splash of the bullet from penetrating into the cab of the vehicle.
Every glass panel is in fact multi-layered armour.
This glass is 38mm thick. The windscreen alone weighs more than 100 kilograms.
The steel on the body is also strengthened with layers of Kevlar, a lightweight but extremely strong material that is resistant to gunshots. The same material is used on armoured vests. The chassis is further strengthened to provide protection from booby traps and mines. Run-flat tyres, if shot out, will allow you to drive the car for at least 50 miles.
You may wonder why everyone doesn't have one of these. Pure and simple, this costs £165,000.
Besides their expense, armoured vehicles are extremely heavy, which severely restricts their performance. Even though the VIP is afforded a higher degree of protection because of armouring, there is still no reason for the team to be complacent.
Momentum of the convoy must be maintained at all times, and that is the responsibility of the lead vehicle. He must be constantly observing in front of him, looking for any problems on the road.
When driving in convoy, the team adopt a series of defensive driving drills to minimise the chance of any attack. They achieve this by adopting a series of blocking techniques throughout the route. Choke points like T-junctions, roundabouts and traffic lights are spots where the technique is employed to keep the convoy intact. This means preventing any other vehicle getting between them. It's the role of the backing vehicles to initiate such manoeuvres.
Charlie 1, North Charlie 2. Remember this next
junction, you're going to have to block any traffic coming down, allow myself and Charlie 3 to go through and then pick up.
We'll go ahead.
When the team have to turn right, the car at the front blocks oncoming traffic, allowing Charlie 2 and 3 to pass.
3 clear.
1 back.
Charlie 1 then returns to the convoy at the rear,
Charlie 3 takes point.
whilst Charlie 3 moves to the front of the convoy. Each driver is highly trained to recognise danger. Here, it's 2 things: oncoming traffic that might split the convoy, and the possibility of the car in front of Charlie 3 braking and forcing the convoy to stop. So, Charlie 3 blocks oncoming traffic, whilst Charlie 1 immediately goes ahead of the principal car to protect the front,
And 1 in the front of it.
whilst Charlie 3 quickly gets back into position behind Charlie 2. Here, the convoy needs to overtake, so Charlie 3 initiates the manoeuvre first, pulling out and blocking any oncoming traffic.
1 and 2, move out, get clear.
Charlie 1 and 2 then pull out and overtake the slow-moving lorry.
Pull across the road, let us pass Charlie 3.
Charlie 3 blocking.
Okay, Roger, copy that.
2 move now, move. 3 mobile.
Red 3 on the red towards red 2 over.
Here, the team are approaching a choke point near a petrol station.
Charlie 1, you keep over to your right.
Charlie 3 come up on the inside, over. Roger.
Charlie 3 comes up alongside the principal car and blocks oncoming traffic, offering protection from the petrol station.
Blocking, move, move.
This allows 1 and 2 to move. Charlie 3 returns to the rear of the convoy, but all the team keep a watchful eye on the petrol station.
The last thing we want is for the convoy to become stationary, because that puts the VIP at risk. Anyone can walk up to the side of the vehicle, put a limpet mine onto the side, bang, VIP's dead.
In Afghanistan, the president's bodyguards didn't see a choke point developing. President Karzai became surrounded by a crowd where an assassin lurked. Fortunately, he survived.
If I was teaching a BG course, I would use this as an example of what not to do. Let's start from the top. The windows of the VIP's cars open, allowing anyone to walk up to that car, drop a hand grenade through the window, bang, no VIP. Too easy access. Second thing, the convoy is too close together. They're not allowing any manoeuvrability between the vehicles. They can see in front of them there's a big gate with a wall blocking the whole road, so it's a natural choke point. That should have been taken into account by the lead vehicle. The bodyguard team should have debussed. They should have been out them vehicles with their weapons drawn, walking either side of the VIP's car, protecting them. They're offering no protection at the moment whatsoever. When the assassin starts firing, it takes them a good 30 seconds to react. If that guy was a half-decent shot, the VIP would be dead now. If they were outside the vehicle, walking alongside, as soon as he fired his first couple of shots, they could have reacted instantly to that and taken that assassin out. This is a classic example of what not to do when bodyguarding someone.
As well as defensive driving, the team are all skilled in escape and evasion techniques. This means being highly trained in keeping the principal safe, even when the convoy comes under direct attack. Remember, our team have a plan of action for every situation. The #1 rule is always keep moving. So how do the tactical procedures work? The team are trained to spot potential hazards. Johnny at point alerts the team to a potential threat.
Here we're approaching a choke point, a threat area. The lead vehicle, Johnny, has spotted a vehicle parked on the left-hand side of the road.
Be aware, ready to state, on our side of the road, 12 o'clock over.
Charlie 2, Roger.
Also, several vehicles on the right.
Possible 3 up, that's the loon on the right over.
As soon as you see something like that, all the BG team will immediately start moving into a higher state of alertness. They will start getting their heavier weapons ready.
Stand by, stand by. Go, 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 go!
Once the threat is apparent and there's an obvious escape route, the team's key objective is to keep moving in order to get away. No close protection team is going to stop and have a firefight in a situation like this.
When moving your VIP by vehicle, one of the most critical members of the close protection team is the driver. He must be able to react instantaneously to any threat, be it from other road users, terrorists, or hostage takers.
There are a number of advanced driving techniques that all VIP protection drivers must be highly skilled in to counter a threat quickly.
Contact front! Contact front!
Just remember, these techniques have taken years to perfect. And if you try this, you may end up killing yourself.
Evasive driving techniques are designed to protect the principal and allow them to escape unharmed. But an elite VIP protection team will always aim to counter the threat. This means anticipating what the bad guys will do. A terrorist or hostage taker will attempt to keep the target under surveillance, gathering information that will help them plan their attack. This may involve wrecking the surrounding area and attempting to follow the convoy. Counter-surveillance measures would involve the use of decoy vehicles and undercover operatives on the ground. The use of decoys is a well-used US Secret Service tactic.
It looked as if it was the president's plane, but there was just a long wait. No Bill Clinton emerged. It was a decoy because of the fears of potential terrorist attack.
The president actually arrived later in an identical executive jet to a less public welcome. To confuse any terrorists further, his Secret Service detail bolstered the presidential cavalcade with a total of 6 armored limousines, just for the journey to the embassy. The team are 20 minutes away from the British Embassy. Up to now, things have gone smoothly. But Mac suspects that they're being followed.
Charlie 1 and 2 from Charlie 3, be aware. Sighted black Audi. It was behind us going back a few miles ago. It reappeared on the scene again, be aware.
If you see a suspicious vehicle behind you, what you can do is throw in some counter-surveillance tactics. Very, very simple ones. The next time you come to a roundabout, instead of going around a roundabout and peeling off on your route, go around a roundabout 2 or 3 times and then peel off en route. Do a 360 of this roundabout. If the vehicle is still following you at that stage, then you obviously know that he's there for no good.
If the team suspect they're being followed, the first thing they'll do is run a plate check with the local police to find out more about the owner. And if necessary, ask the local traffic police to apprehend them.
Charlie 1, Charlie 2 from Charlie 3. The dark blue Audi has peeled off right. Clear.
For now, the threat seems to have faded. But what if this was the beginning of a real attack? We we've arranged for our team to drive into a fictitious ambush to see how they react.
In this instance, we've come across a well-prepared and planned ambush. I move round the rear of the vehicle.
Get out! Get out! Get!
I pull the aide out and throw him to the side. I'm not interested in him.
Get down!
I then take out the minister and get her down into some cover behind the rear of the vehicle. As this is happening, Mike, because in a very exposed position, picks up his HK-33, climbs through the rear of the vehicle and takes up a position at the rear of the vehicle and starts putting down maximum firepower. The reason they're grabbing these different weapons is because they're higher powered and longer range.
Right, move! Move!
As soon as I feel there is enough firepower going down, I will then move the minister around to Johnny's vehicle.
All actions on planning requires getting the minister away from the threat as quickly as possible, even if this means leaving the rest of the team committed to a firefight. This particular event hasn't happened yet, but the team will always have a plan to counter an ambush. For now, the ministerial visit is going to plan, and the convoy are about to arrive at the British Embassy. Next time on SAS Survival Secrets, we show you how the team protect Minister Long on the ground. We'll take you through the actions and the comms.
Charlie 1-4, move for pickup, over.
Find out what happens when the minister gets kidnapped and is taken hostage. How will she survive? Eddie and the team return in full-on counter-terrorist mode. We look at how to plan and mount an immediate action hostage rescue mission.